Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blow the Whistle Sports. I'm your host, Wayne Holloway, and thank you once again for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share. And like always, if you want to see something on our show, or you have an idea you want to see us put on this show, drop them in the comments below, or hit us on any one of our social media outlets. Holla at us, we holla back. But let me introduce you to my co-host. But first, broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California, Blow the Whistle Sports. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and always showing us love and support. Thank you. And many more shows to come. We have a lot in store for you guys. But first, let me introduce you to my co-host, that man of the hour, Mr. Stephen Rubain. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm feeling great tonight. Feel great. This is like that fall transition period where the NFL is just really warming up. You got baseball playoffs, WNBA playoffs. We got boxing. Just so much to get into. And then the NBA is just around the corner.
This is the fun part of the season where we can watch this, we can do this, we can see this. It's not that part that I don't even want to talk about. I want to talk about all the juiciness that we got now. But first, Steve, where do you want to go? Where do you want to start first? Because we started off a couple minutes late. We might as well jump into this show.
Let's warm up with a little bit of baseball, just a little bit, not too much. We're still a couple of weeks until the actual baseball playoffs start, but let's kind of catch everybody up with where we stand on the baseball. So right now, if we had to talk about who is in the lead in baseball, in the American League, we have the Toronto Blue Jays in first place in the East, Detroit Tigers first place in the Central, and the Seattle Mariners first place in the West. Now, closely behind them, we have our old New York Yankees in the first wild card spot. Then we have the Astros and Red Sox battling for that second wild card spot.
Oh, yeah. And let's give it up to all the people.
All the people. So it's going to be a great last 2 weeks of the season. We got some big name teams in there. So that should be a great battle in the American League. Now, in the National League, it's even better because you got the Philadelphia Phillies in first place, the Milwaukee Brewers with the best record in baseball, and our old beloved LA Dodgers first in the West.
Yes, sir.
But looking behind them, we have old beloved Chicago Cubs first in the wild card, San Diego Padres second, and then we have a battle for that third wild card spot between the New York Mets, Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Cincinnati Reds. So,
give it up to all the people.
The best thing baseball did a few years ago was they increased the playoff to the 12-team format. And so it gives many more teams a chance to compete for playoff spots, and it keeps it interesting going into the season. I know growing up as a kid, oftentimes the teams are already had 20-game leads, and it was already well decided, so it was kind of boring going into the playoffs. But now we should have some great excitement going down these last 2 weeks as we have a lot of playoff spots still open. So I'm looking forward to it. Shout out to a player who's having a tremendous baseball season, Kyle Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners. You know what he's doing this season? The catcher for the Seattle Mariners has this week passed Mickey Mantle for the most home runs by a switch hitter in a season, now with 56. And he's tied with Ken Griffey.
Woo!
And whenever you're tied with Ken Griffey in anything, you know you're doing big things. So right now he's tied with Ken Griffey for the most home runs by a Seattle Mariner in the season. So he just needs one more to break that record. So congratulations to him. He's having a tremendous season. I mean, I'm pretty sure to guess he's going to be the MVP this year. But
no doubt.
Shout out to him.
Man, this is when baseball is when you see us get excited about baseball when this race gets ready to start. Baseball for me, it's it's not until the race where I really get into it, because before the race, it's like you want to see who's lining up, but it all matters when it gets down to those last 12. That's what matters.
What makes baseball playoffs so special is that it's that mano y mano.
Yes.
Basketball and football, those are true team sports in the sense of you got to have everybody in, quarterback, running back, wide receivers, defense. You got so many components. But so often in baseball is that hitter versus batter, 1-to-1. And it's just that sincere competition of is he gonna strike him out or is he gonna hit that big hit? And so that's the excitement baseball does in the playoffs. Every at bat gets magnified.
Means
so
something.
That's what we love it. Remember last year with the Dodgers when Freddie Freeman hit that grand slam to win the game in Game 1 of the World Series, and the crowd just went ballistic.
Yes, sir.
I mean, there's no greater feeling than that when one player has one chance to just do something that's legendary. And so that's what makes baseball so great.
I need the Dodgers to get it together. I need to see them string like 10, 15 wins together. Let's string them out. String them out. Come on.
Yeah, I guess, like I said, the great thing with baseball is that if they get in, anything can happen. And so they just need to, they're just going to need to get in. So once they're in, it's every man for himself. So
I need them to be perfect.
Yeah. Last year, baseball
form of the game.
Absolutely. Yeah, last year baseball had the perfect scenario: Yankees, Dodgers, World Series. You can't ask for a better World Series, but they got some big names this year too. So Cubs, Yankees will be big. Dodgers against the Red Sox will be big. I mean, so there's some names up there. So we'll see.
Any early predictions, Steve?
Well, right now, if I had to predict the two teams, I got to go. The Phillies have been playing the best ball all year. I got to go with either them or the Brewers in the National League. Of course, the Dodgers, of course. American League, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Milwaukee.
Ooh.
That's going to be my upset. I'm not Milwaukee, but I'm sorry. Change that. I'm kind of leaning towards Seattle as an upset.
Okay. Anybody but the Dodgers, right, Steve?
Anybody. No, I said I got the Dodgers competing. I just think they have just too many factors going against them this year.
They started off kind of rough,
yeah.
But the Dodgers are a team that are known to pull it together and do their thing. LA Dodgers.
Well, that's the one thing they got the hitting. So when you got big time hitting, Ohtani or Mookie Betts can take over. And so they would have to have one of those great series of just killing the ball for them too.
I'll put it like this. They got the whole LA on they backs ready to carry them. That we giving them all our energy. We feeding into them, Steve. We feeding into them so we can have a prosperous pennant.
Oh, absolutely. That's why we're so excited for the playoffs, because anything can happen. And like you said, we got these big markets, LA, New York, Chicago. So it should make for an amazing baseball series. I'm looking forward to it. I know you are.
Yes, sir.
So you want to jump now to WNBA?
Hey, let's run it.
Let's run it. So WNBA playoffs just started a couple of days ago. Let me just real quick go over. Number 1 seed in the WNBA is the Minnesota Lynx. They have a 1-0 lead over Golden State. This is the expansion team, the Valkyries. I don't know where they came with the name Valkyries. They could have came with a better name.
That's from the Vikings.
Yeah,
the old Valkyries were the women gladiators. So that's a fitting name.
You think
that's
so?
A fitting name right there.
For Golden State, I just think they could have came. I mean, I guess it kind of goes along the same Warriors theme.
It's the WNBA. The Valkyries, if you want to be technical, are the women warriors.
Yeah. So I mean, if you want to look at it from that way, I guess. All right.
They get it on the point.
Okay, I'll get him. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, the 2 seed is the Las Vegas Aces. Now, that's a great name for Vegas. The Las Vegas Aces. They're tied with the Seattle Storm 1-1.
Right.
The 3 seed Atlanta Dream is tied with the Indiana Fever minus our old Caitlin, who's out for the season. Caitlin Clark out for the. So that was a tough
Hate
one.
to hear about that. Hate to hear about that.
Yeah, Indiana was hurting on that one. And then our last one, the Phoenix Mercury, is on game 1 right now against the New York Liberty.
Okay.
So that's where we stand in the playoffs. Like I said, they are hurting the fact that they don't have their 3 biggest stars right now. I'm talking about Caitlin Clark.
That's
talking
something.
about Angel Reese, and we're talking about Paige Becker's not in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
That's a hurt for the WNBA. You want to have the big marquee names in. So
yeah, you want people to come out and watch. You think will it have the same allure without the stars?
We already know it has because
push and pull.
Yeah, we already know because it just hasn't had the same impact that it had last year. It's not the same excitement going into it because they're missing those big marquee names. So we'll see. We'll keep you guys updated.
We wish all of them a speedy recovery.
Absolutely.
So we don't like to see anybody go down. So we wish them a speedy recovery from here from Blow the Whistle Sports. Get better. I want to put this out here. Have you seen the new Reebok, Steve? Those new Reeboks.
I have seen new Reeboks, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get with Shaq so we can get sponsored up here at Blow the Whistle Sports so we can bust us out some Reeboks. Yeah, I want to check out these Reeboks. I hope they bring the pumps back.
Yeah, I'm glad that Reebok's trying to make a comeback. They're trying to keep compete with Nike. Of course, Nike has dominated the shoe scene for the last 40 years, but it's good to see Reebok getting back in there because those who grew up in the 80s know how big Reebok used to be. And remember those Reebok days.
I'm not even gonna go with the used to be because Reebok, not only did they come back, they got Shaq and they got Mr. Iverson at the top of the food chain over there, and they the ones that put them on the map. So as we say, and they're the ones that are about to put them back on the map. All I'm saying is, Shaq, Mr. O'Neal, here at Blow the Whistle Sports, can we get some shoes, man?
Yeah, Steve, we got love for you. We got a whole lot of love for Shaq.
Whole lot of love. Don't get me. Steve is a hater, but don't worry, I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him.
Well, time out now. In the Shaq versus Kobe, whose side did I take? Whose side have I always taken in the Shaq versus Kobe debate?
There's no debate when you're a Laker fan. Shaq was the man and Kobe was the man. Period. And there was a time when Kobe was the Superman and the big brother and the little brother, and then they became the dynamic duo, and then little brother did his thing after Shaq parted ways. That's how it works. Big brother, little brother, then they grew up to be the dynamic duo. Mm-hmm. And I just wish we could have had many, many more. But we were talking about the WNBA. That just brings back memories. I just wanted to let Shaq know from here to Blow the Whistle Sports. Tell everybody, go get you some Reeboks. Hey, they got some nice fashions. I was out there. As a matter of fact, Shaq, I'm gonna pick me up a pair. I just want you to slide me about 4 more pair. I'm a size 14. Hey, but I'll wait till I see you again. And we'll talk about that, sir. Absolutely. But moving right along, Steve, where you want to jump into now?
Well, we got to talk about the event of the weekend, which was boxing. We finally had a boxing match that was worth watching.
Yeah, it was worth watching. It was worth watching.
This was the biggest fight in the last at least 10 years. We had. Okay, so I'm going to mention the names, and then you tell me what was missing. We had Canelo Alvarez, who many people for years have said pound for pound could be considered one of the best fighters of all time, against Bud Crawford, who undefeated, 2-time undisputed champion.
He did that.
Going up against 4 Canelo's super middleweight championship.
He did that.
He did the thing. He won by unanimous decision, Mr. Crawford, and now he's the first boxer in history to be undisputed champion in 3 weight classes.
Woo!
So I got my question for you, because I know where you're going to go. but I'm going to put this out there for all of our Blow the Whistle sports fans. That is Bud Crawford now, pound for pound, the greatest fighter of all time.
I'll say he's tied right now. He has to go on to get a few more wins to be the greatest, but he's him. He's him. He did his thing. He went out there. He looked convincing. He didn't just go out there and it was just a boxing match where you could be like, they both fought good. No, he put on a clinic. He dusted that man around that ring for, was it 12 rounds?
Yes.
Yeah, he dusted him. But you said the first undisputed in 3 weight classes. Wasn't that Roy Jones first?
No fighter has ever been undisputed in the 4 weight class era. Now keep in mind, Roy Jones was in the 3 weight class.
He did 3 though, right?
So yeah, he had 3. So
all right,
so 4 weight classes is a different animal.
Roy Jones was a light heavyweight,
right?
And what's the weight right up under light heavyweight?
Well, keep in mind, Roy Jones had 4 or 5 different weight classes, but he wasn't undisputed in those 4 or 5 weight classes. So
wait a minute.
So we're speaking about undisputed, meaning that you have all the belts for that division.
Okay.
So Roy Jones may have had 2 of the belts.
He had 3.
And a couple of them he had, but he was. I think only one time was Roy Jones ever the undisputed champion in the weight class.
But he undisputed out of 3 weight classes. He was. What's the one up under lightweight?
We had light heavyweight. Yeah, Roy Jones was light heavyweight. I believe he was also cruiserweight and
heavyweight.
So he had 3.
Because you said cruiser. Are you sure he was cruiser?
I don't know about cruiser. He was light heavyweight. I think he even moved to heavyweight for a short time. I don't think
he was light heavyweight, and then he was heavyweight.
Right.
But before light heavyweight,
one title in heavyweight
though. Okay. All right. All right.
See, Roy Jones had more weight classes, but he didn't have the undisputed. That's the key. And what's his name has done it in the 4 weight class era. So back in the day, they only had WBA, WBC, and IBF.
Okay.
But now they have 4 different weight classes. And so either way you look at it, he's had an amazing career. 42-0, 31 knockouts. So yeah, he was middleweight. Thank you. So Lamont came in, so he had the middleweight title. So yeah, middleweight, light heavyweight, and then he did go up to heavyweight and beat
and at that time he was undefeated. He was middleweight, light heavyweight, heavyweight, undisputed champion of the world.
No. Yes,
I'm positive. I'm positive.
I'm positive you are absolutely wrong because you forgot about Antonio knocked him out cold Tarver.
That's after he had did the heavyweight and he went back down.
No,
he was a middle.
He lost to Tarver before he won heavyweight. We can do our research. We'll go into the research lab.
We'll bring this back next week, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right.
He beat John Ruiz for the heavyweight title, but that was well after he had lost.
You know what? I'm excited. I finally got something on the Sports Almanac that he's not sure about. Steve, right now, since we're on the air and you can't do any research right now, let's just make $20.
This is a nice little friendly wager, but I'm guaranteeing you. I remember that Tarver fight like it was yesterday because that was a fight when Roy Jones was talking a whole lot, and Tarver said he's going to shut him up before the fight, and then Tarver did it.
I wanted him to retire after he came up to heavyweight because he was still undefeated, and then he went
back down.
He did go back down. He tried to lose all that weight to make that fight, and that's when he lost. Now, you know what? I can be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right. But I'm going to do the research, and we're going to get Mitch on that next week.
Back next week. I love when we do this. You're challenging the almanac.
Hey, I think I got you on this one.
You know this is going to end badly for you. You know this is going to end badly for you. But
I'll be all right.
But one thing I will tell you about is that, as I mentioned, Bud Crawford was 42-0. Now, Floyd Money Mayweather actually went up to 50 and 0. So
Yes,
he's the first
sir.
fighter ever to win 50.
And you better put some
Only
respect
with
on his
27
name.
knockouts.
Respect.
Yes, and so the question I'm going to ask you guys, if you had to say right now, who's had the better career, Mayweather or Crawford? We want you guys to come, put in the chat box, tell us on the YouTube, on Instagram, who's had the better career. If you had to put together,
we're gonna open up these phone lines on this real quick, Steve, because let me open up these phone lines because that's kind of like a no-brainer. They're both undefeated, right? But
I think Crawford has been much more dominant in his fights, whereas Mayweather has had several fights that people can still argue. And I keep in mind the only fighter who's fought both of them, Canelo Alvarez, after the fight said, no question, Bud Crawford was a better fighter than Mayweather.
So now we listening to what a great fighter.
Well, the only fighter who's fought both of them.
But you didn't listen to Michael Jordan, the GOAT of basketball, when he said Kobe was the only person next to him. But now in boxing, you're gonna listen to the man that's up there about somebody else. Come on, Steve. If we're gonna use those analogies,
we listen to Jordan, but we have to put in the statistical facts.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. But statistical
facts. Money Mayweather has more wins than Crawford, right?
Right.
Statistical fact. That's a fact.
Absolutely.
So a greater career he cannot have because he hasn't have a career that has lasted as long as Mayweather's. It can't be.
So you want to give
not taking anything from either one of them.
All right. That's a fair argument. I'll accept that argument. We got Mr. 49 in the house. Bang, bang, bang. We got to talk about the Niners. We're going to get the NFL in a few minutes.
We're going to get on football shortly. If you want to call in about this boxing, 1-909-844-4443. That's 1-909-844-4443. What I will say is the fight was entertaining. I still need the fight organization to come together and put together a straight deal on what's the road to the belt, who fighters need to fight. Nobody should be able to duck anybody. When a fighter has the belt, nobody should be able to say that he didn't go through the best of the best, and it needs to be organizationally put together that way so fighters have to go through that road. And the money disparity in boxing has got to stop. The person that had the losses on his record got the money. How does that work? I understand about the draw, who's bringing in the people, but it still needs to be put in a piggy bank where that person is supposed to get this amount of money, and it should be divided up equally, and that purse should be the purse that they fight for. You know, when you go into a fight, you're going to get this, and this person's going to get this. But that extra $100 million should be in a purse where we get the truest form of fighting ever, to where there's no doubt the person is putting in 100%, not just sitting back like, I'm only making XYZ off of this fight. We got the best pound per pound fighter, and look what happened. The person who lost got 150 million, and the winner, not just the winner, the person who dusted this man off, I won't say he made him look bad, but he dusted him off pretty bad, got 50 million. Ridiculous.
Well,
that's all I'm gonna say. Ridiculous.
That's a good argument to make. I think that's something that's always gone in history, is purses. And so I'm just happy that we finally got two of the best to get in the ring at the same time, not at the end of their careers, but still in good fighting shape. They're not old fighters. It's not like a fighter that they're fighting in their 40s or fighting well past their prime. Speaking of which,
it was a fight. It was a fight, but you've watched fights before where it looked like it was a battle of the gargantuans. It was a battle of the titans. The Canelo, he ridiculous. He was getting dusted off from round one. It didn't even look like he wanted to be in the ring with this man. He knew he was going to lose. That's what it just looked like. And I'm not trying to disrespect him because he's a great fighter. But in this fight, he was outmatched. It looked like he was outnumbered. It looked like he was getting hit from here and there, and he didn't know what to do. And even when we get to the last 3 rounds or the last 2 rounds, nobody said, let your hands go. Do you remember in those fights where somebody, oh, you're losing, you got to let those hands go? Man, kick back. You're getting 150 million. Man, we'll just get a rematch where you you'll make it some obscene amount of money. That's what it burns me about boxing. That's what takes it out of there for me, because you can see the man actually, he had gave up already. He knew he was getting his butt kicked.
Yeah, that
He was in
rematch
there just
clause.
cruising.
Yeah,
you saw that, didn't you?
That I give you. The rematch clause definitely does take away from that incentive to go out there and give your best. But I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, I'm just happy to finally see 2 of the best in the ring at the same. It happens so rarely now that you get the 2 best in the ring at the same time. They were
2 of the best, but did we really see the fight that we wanted to see?
Well, no.
They fought. They fought. You know, punches were thrown both sides, but once I didn't see them say, "Let your hands go. You're losing this fight. We gotta win." There was no urgency on the losing side. It was just like, we won. Even though we lost, it was a feeling like we won. The dude that they saying won, he only got $50 million.
But that's why in this rematch they have, he's going to be guaranteed to get the bigger purse. So I guess it's a win-win in both situations. He won the fight, and he's going to get the bigger purse next time. Because I can't see any way they don't get in there again. It's just too much out there.
It's a lot of money out there, but I'm gonna say it like this, and I'm not trying to take anybody out the fight game, because I'm so done with it, and I want to be back in it because I be excited. But you get things like this. Think about this: they went to this ring. The Canelo was getting 150 before we got into the ring, and Crawford was getting his 50 million.
Right.
Of course, they're going to want a rematch, because now they're still getting money, but we're still not going to get that Titan versus Titan type fight.
Right.
Do you agree with me that the extra money should be put in a purse for mano a mano winner, where you get 50 million, I get 50 million, and whoever wins gets the access?
Oh, that would be a beautiful.
Don't that make sense?
If you can get fires to go for that, that'd be a beautiful thing. But
it seems like a no-brainer.
I just can't see. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, but I just can't see boxers agreeing to it. But I agree with you. It should be winner takes the bigger pot.
And I can see you saying that Canelo was the big draw, but he had lost twice before he got in the ring with Crawford. He had no losses. How was he the bigger draw? Because
because it was Mexican Independence Weekend. It was in Vegas. Mexican Independence Weekend in Vegas. If the fight was in Omaha, which is Crawford's hometown, it'd be a whole different story. It's just backwards to me. But the fight was in
fighter
Vegas.
that had losses on his record already and draws on his record already went against an undisputed winner with no draws, no losses, and he got more money and he got his butt kicked. I'm gonna leave it like that. Because
we'll leave it at that. But we will get to next week. We will come out and I'll prove him wrong again, as the almanac will show.
I'm gonna definitely do homework on that one.
Roy Jones. Yeah, we're gonna look up that, because Roy Jones didn't get his heavyweight title until very late in his career. After he was already it was one of his big comebacks, was that he moved up to heavyweight when he beat John Ruiz. But we'll talk about that for next week. You ready to jump into the NFL?
I am more than ready. More than ready. Are we going to do the recap first?
Oh, of course we're going to do the recap first because we're going to start off with what should have been the game of the week. But because, unfortunately, as I told you guys so, the Washington Commanders, the team that I love, the organization that I've had a love-hate relationship with, I told you guys before the season started that the Commanders were going to have a letdown this year. They were going to take a step back. And you told me, no. They're going to be great. Jaden Daniels is going to be great, blah, blah, blah.
Jaden Daniels was great.
All right.
Your offensive coordinator was trash. God.
I agree. But you know something? He was trash last year, too. You know what the difference was? You had a Jaden Daniels who nobody had any information on. So he was able to go out there and make things happen when everything broke down. Now this year, everybody got all the information and they know when things break down, he's going to run. So they're ready for it. They got guys prepared. And so he's looking much worse because teams have now caught up to the Commanders.
No, football is a game. It's sad. It's sad when, we look at these games and everything you said was on point. The only thing is, being an avid football watcher, watching how they didn't set him up to have any underneath where he's getting rushed, but they made him a pocket passer. It didn't look like they had any design runs for him to take off to make the defense have to back off. It doesn't look like they planned for this game well at all. But hey, it is what it is. Not take my hat off to the winner of the game, but it was just something. Wait a minute, Steve. I had to give a shout out to the Angel City Riot in the house, Cali Cat Pack in the house. Panther Nation, we are in here. Hey, man.
Oh, we're gonna get to the Panthers. We're gonna get to the Panthers in a few minutes.
We don't need you to
because we got a Steve Smith. We got a Steve Smith sighting this week, and Steve Smith took it to the Panther fans. And so we're gonna get to that in a few minutes. Hold that thought.
Hate in your heart, you get this big smile, and it's like, "Ooh, I can't wait to lay into you." I see it.
I can't wait to lay into it. So we're going to get to the Panthers in a few minutes, but here's my question of the week. Jaden Daniels has been diagnosed with a sprained knee. Is there any way that you would have him go on the field this week against the Raiders? Yes or no?
I would think this is a game that you guys could still not cruise by, but Mariota's your backup, right? I think you guys can pull out a win with the Raiders. Now, I wouldn't say that because the Raiders look pretty solid, but I found out in their game this week that Chip Kelly is their offensive coordinator, and wow, he really stunk up the show this last game they played. Chip Kelly. They need to let this man go back to college sports because I don't think that, maybe he's great at college, but in the NFL, did you see the game with the Raiders and the Chargers? I'm gonna go off a little bit.
I watched the whole game. I watched the game from start to finish, and I have a different outlook.
Tell me what you have on it. Why we in there?
My outlook on it was Geno Smith was doing Geno Smith things, and that's a problem because those who know Geno Smith's career, one of the most gifted quarterbacks to ever step on the field, but he got a little bit of Jameis Winston in him. He got a little bit of Jameis Winston. He got that kind of gunslinger, I can make something happen when nothing's there mentality in him, and it's plagued him his whole career. When Geno Smith is on, he looks like a top 10 quarterback. But too often, Geno Smith had games like he had against the Chargers on Monday night where he just looked like he just was kind of playing. Remember sandlot football where you're out there on the concrete and you got five guys, we got five guys, and you just got that one guy who got to go out there and wants to be the superstar and just doing everything. That's Geno Smith. Geno Smith's that guy who's just kind of out there just doing his thing with no regards for, you got Ashton Jenkins, young thoroughbred, young and hungry. He had what, 7 carries, 8 carries the whole game. Geno Smith had what, 42 passes the whole game.
I'm holding it in.
Who told Geno Smith that he is Tom Brady, that he is Peyton Manning, that he is somebody who can throw the ball 40, 50 times a game? Who told him
Chip
that?
Kelly, the person calling the plays, not Geno Smith, because he's not the person calling the plays. Chip Kelly is the one calling the plays. And I listened to you, and I heard you, and that's what you said is the way it looked. But just like when I said about the Washington game, if you look at the Raider game, and I want people who are Raider fans or whoever to really listen to what I'm saying and tell me if you think that I'm wrong. Chip Kelly was calling plays that took time to develop against the Charger defense that was blitzing and coming through, where he didn't have time to wait for a play to develop. Geno Smith had to take chances to try to make something out of nothing. If you watch the Charger offensive coordinator, which was a brilliant person, this guy, not only when they run a pass play, do they have a let out with the a let out pass with the running back. They do up and wide to the number one wide receiver, the second wide receiver do a button and come back. The running back could go across the middle, where Hubbard had 4-5 different places to place this ball. When the Raiders run a play, you see all 4 wide receivers going out to run routes. You might see the running back stay back, but it's easy to double team the running back when you know you're trying to pass the ball because you're in a passing situation. And he didn't give this man any type of let outs, any safety valve. They're all trying to do routes, and he had to try to fit windows on a team that's blitzing we can see they're getting in there. He doesn't have time. He has to soften that defense up before he can let them go routes and then throw passes, which he was dropping dimes when they did do that, because their running back was eating up yards, and his balance was phenomenal, and he was doing his thing. But Chip Kelly is the cancer over there, and I want you to watch the next Raider game because the Raiders are looking pretty good. I think it's just the offensive coordinator, bad plays, bad timing. That's just my see at it right there. And I'm not a Raider fan.
All that sounded amazing. I was patient. I waited. I let you get it all out your chest. But I got one word for you. That word is called check down. Do you know what the word check down means? What it means is that when Chip Kelly is making that horrible play call that you talked about, the veteran quarterback, Geno Smith comes out and says, that's a horrible play call. They're blitzing the you-know-what out of me. You know what I'm going to do? At the line of scrimmage, I'm going to check down and hand the ball to Ashton Jenkins to save my own butt, number one. And number two, soften the game, soften their pass rush. Better than go up there and just keep throwing the ball 42 times, which they did over the game. It's the quarterback's job to sit there and tell the coordinator, no, we're not going to do that. You know who does that very well? Jalen Hurts. You know who also does that very well? Patrick Mahomes. You know why they win? Because they're in charge of the game, not the coordinator.
I get you. Geno Smith is his first year on the Raiders, and he's back with his coach, and they put an offensive coordinator in there for a reason. You have to do what the offensive coordinator asks you to do. And I understand about checkdowns. This is what I was upset about, because they didn't leave. You didn't hear me. They didn't leave the man a check down. They didn't leave him a check down, Steve. They had everybody going out wide. And then when they did leave the running back shallow, he was double covered. He had a man on the bottom and on the top of him. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then
so when that happens, you know what has to happen? Gino got to run. When that happens, you know the pass rush is coming, and you know that the wide receiver is double covered. Then that's when Geno Smith has to just go take it up the middle and get what he can
I don't think we're going to agree on this.
Not try to force the ball in, not try to force the ball into coverage. I watched the whole game. That's what Geno was doing the whole game, trying to force the ball in when there are times when, like what Herbert was doing the whole game, when Herbert is nowhere near the athlete that Geno Smith is, but Herbert had no problem running the ball when the lane was open.
Hubbard, offensive coordinator, kept the defense true. Like I said, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers was excellent. Running 3-4 wide receivers, 2 tight end looks, and leaving him somebody to throw to at different levels all over the field. You didn't know where he was. He was dishing that ball out. He spread it out pretty evenly. I put money on that game on catches. He spread it out pretty evenly, but unlike the Raider offensive coordinator, that on 3rd and 15, 3rd and 17, it would, if you call a run play for the so he didn't call a run play. They were calling plays that had to develop. But hey, watch this next game, and then we'll come back next week. We'll talk about that a little more. We're gonna
come back to it, but Chargers look good. We're gonna get Chargers 2-0, looking great. Packers 2-0, looking great.
And what about our unexpected 2-0? What about that person that everybody had looked off and shunned, that they said that he was just a bust? What about that person?
You mean Mike Daniel Jones?
Oh,
Mike Jones?
Yes,
Daniel Jones?
sir.
They talking about?
Well, is this a resurgence of Mike of I want to call him Mike Jones, of Daniel Jones? Is this a resurgence of him? Do you think that he's finally got the swagger? Do you think he's finally got the stuff, or is this just blow up and he's going to fall off?
Well, it makes you question the New York Giants. The Giants had Saquon Barkley, couldn't do nothing with him. He goes to Philadelphia. Rest is history. Giants had Daniel Jones, couldn't do nothing with him. He leaves for Indianapolis, and it looks like he's a new man.
Not only did they have Daniel Jones, they made him look like he was nothing. They made him look like he was an old piece of trash.
I think we got a great Mr. Charles Tongue. I think gave Charlie. You might need to market that. You might need to get a Indiana Jones. You might need to go ahead and get a marketing on that name, because if he keeps playing like he's playing, Indiana Jones might be a great the name of the year in the NFL. The way he's playing,
yes, sir.
Leaving the Giants, leaving the Jets. There's something about leaving those two teams that gives you a resurgence. So I don't know what to tell you about the Giants. But listen, because
what is there to talk about with the Giants?
Well, we got a Cowboy team. They act like they won the Super Bowl by beating the New York Giants by 3 points the last play of overtime. And you would have thought they won the Super Bowl the way they acted.
Well,
Cowboys amaze me. Now, keep in mind, this is a Giants team that was destroyed by the Commanders week 1.
Right.
They put up 37 points against this vaulted Cowboy defense. Russell Wilson looked like the Seattle Seahawks Russell Wilson, throwing the ball all over the field.
You thought
Cowboys defense, a poor Trayvon Diggs. And he looked like a lost puppy out there. Everywhere you look, he was getting burned by somebody on the Giants. And yet the Cowboys walked out of the game acting like they won the Super Bowl. Explain that to me.
They won a game, Steve. The Cowboys weren't planning on winning games. They won a game, Steve. Let's be clear about the Cowboys. The Cowboys have a nice offense, but do they run that team like they have a nice offense? No.
No.
And they won a game, and even though the Giants, any game they win, you're gonna think it was a championship game.
My goodness.
They're just happy to get some W's so they can sell some more merchandise. They ain't planning on really doing nothing. They ain't planning on really doing nothing.
It's sad.
You know who's gonna do something, Steve? Them Green Bay Packers.
Well,
that's who's gonna do something.
Well, I told you guys once after that trade, that steal of a trade the Packers had, getting Micah Parsons, who's a game changer. People don't seem to understand. In the NFL, we might have had about 5 or 6 defensive game changers in the history in terms of guys who just automatically. I'll name Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, Ray Lewis.
Yes, sir.
You could maybe argue J.J. Watt. You could put him possibly in that argument for being dominant for the time period he was in.
Yeah, he was dominant.
Somebody who just their presence on the field, your defense has to completely look out for them at all times.
Hey, don't forget about Polamalu.
Yeah, Polamalu. Okay, I'll throw Polamalu in, and I'll throw in Junior Seau at his prime. Polamalu and Seau in their primes. Yeah. Those were guys who literally a defense had to sit there every single time. Where is he on the field? Where is he lined up? Yes. We got to watch out because he can at any time get. Okay, I see some more names. Brian Dawkins. Okay. Lamont, lay off the sauce.
You know he a Philly fan, man.
He in his feelings right now. He right now in his feelings. Brian Dawkins. We talk about game changers. What's that? Brian Dawkins.
I'm surprised he didn't say
about
Carson
game
Wentz.
Changers. You talking about Brian Dawkins?
He liable to say Carson Wentz or somebody. Yeah. You know, he's a Philly fan.
I mean, come on now. Oh my goodness. You could have said Lamar. You could have said Reggie White. He was an Eagle. He was a dominant Eagle player. If you want to talk about a game changer Eagle, Reggie White when he was in
Dawkins because of the way his name sound. When you had to say his name like this, Brian Dawkins. Then that makes him sound like ooh, he was something.
I get it. I mentioned the all-time greats, and then we get a Brian Dawkins saying that. Don't get me wrong. Brian Dawkins is a Hall of Fame level player.
Yes,
but we're not going to mention him in the same breath of Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, and Ray Lewis.
See, you trying to start an Eagle? You gonna have Lamont outside your house, knocking on your door.
I'm just keeping it real. You know I got love for you. You know I got love for you, but come on, man, don't. He need to be accounted for. There's numerous players that need to be accounted for. I'm talking about game changers. I'm talking about somebody that at any given play correct their team. Brian Dawkins was not a game wrecker. He was no doubt a dominant player at his position. But I'm talking about guys who literally could take the game on defense and change things in their favor in any given game. Polamalu.
If you watch the Steelers game when he was playing, I don't care what play it was. When you look at the film, he's somewhere on the film. He's somewhere in there diving at the ball. I don't know what type of sauce he took before every game that he played, but for that man to be flying around the field every game, in every highlight on the game, even if he wasn't on the play, you seen him in the reel.
Now let's say now Lamont just spoke back and said, and Parsons is so wait a second. Parsons, who in 4 seasons has 52 sacks, has an average of 13 sacks a season, the most of any guy in the history in 4 seasons, and you want to put him in the same boat with Brian Dawkins? He's averaging literally like a sack a game.
Why would you put it like that, Steve? I told you he's an Eagle fan, and Brian Dawkins. You got to say his name like that. He's an Eagle.
But time out. I gave him Reggie White. Reggie White was the most dominant Eagle defensive player in history. No, not even a close second.
I tried to help you.
I didn't even mention. I didn't even mention Sean Taylor. If you want to go Brian Dawkins route, would you not say Sean Taylor was a more dominant defensive player than Brian Dawkins?
You're not going. You think he's gonna change his mind now?
No, I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there. If you want to mention Brian Dawkins, I'm going to mention Sean Taylor then. Because anybody who watched the Sean Taylor era, may he rest in peace, knows that Sean Taylor was a game record at any point in the game. But let's get off that. I'm gonna give you Eagle. Listen, I'm gonna give you Eagle love, Lamont. Eagles are 2-0, and right now in our early top 5, and there was some debate over this. Eagles or Bills for the number 1 seed right now in the top 5.
Who?
I got the Eagles number 1.
Over who?
There was a debate. The Bills. Who's the top team in the NFL right now? If you had to do your early top 5, there was back and forth between Eagles and Bills.
It's too early.
It's too early. But if I had to say somebody right now, I would put the Eagles because they're the number 1 defending Super Bowl champions. They've won 17 of their last 18 games.
Right.
And they've shown to be dominant over those games. It's been against much better competition. They've already knocked off the Chiefs.
You've put me on the Eagles also. Yeah. I wasn't like I was against the Eagles, but I was
you were kind of a Jalen Hurts. You were a little Jalen Hurts hater. A little bit.
No.
Little bit. You didn't want to give Jalen Hurts his props.
No,
I told you from the start, Jalen Hurts is a different beast.
I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. You know that.
I know you are, but you didn't give him the love. Was it? Sports.
You got one of our new mugs. We got to start giving away some merchandise, Steve.
I know. I'm just kind of letting people know.
Yeah,
we're moving up in the world.
Oh yeah, we got some.
Lamont, but I'm gonna give you Lamont. Eagles right now are my number 1 team until somebody shows me they can beat them. I got them number 1. I got Bills 2, Ravens 3. Then I'm looking at Chargers and Rams. Those are my top 5 right now.
I can't disrespect the Eagles right now. I give them number 1, but this has only been 2 weeks. It's too early to do this. We should be doing this about week 5 or 6. You know, right now I'm putting the Eagles first, Bills second. I honestly like the Chargers. I'm kind of high on the Chargers actually. Their offensive coordinator has sick plays, man. Wow, and then Green Bay. You know what? I like Green Bay over the chart. All right, Eagles, Bills, Green Bay, then the Chargers.
Okay,
that's what I would do. That's why I do it like that.
All right, I may put Green Bay in there over the Rams. Rams still are a work in progress. So
the Rams got to prove something to me this week. This week, Rams, you'll hear different because the Rams, I believe, we about to get to these picks because I got some juicy ones for you. Ones for you.
Well, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, I think we went over the week. For the most part, the week went as expected. We went over the big games. So let's go ahead and get these picks going.
Let me get to the game. Let me get to the schedule.
All right. Well, he's pulling the schedule up.
Go to week 3, and let me do this so everybody knows what we doing.
While he's pulling that up, guys, for your fantasy guys, let me tell. This is my first fantasy tip for the week, guys, because I think I might have to talk directly to you or your brother.
Lamont was
You guys are dropping way too many guys. You guys are dropping way too many people too early in the season. I'm seeing 5, 6, 7, 8 moves being made in week 2. Go with your gut. If you drafted somebody in your draft, give them at least 3 to 4 weeks before you start dropping flies on them. That's my fantasy advice for the week.
You talking to his brother?
I know. I'm just I'm putting it out there. Just talk to him. He's doing too much too soon. I'm seeing good guys being dropped because they had one bad week.
And now,
yes,
it is time for the NFL predictions, week 3.
All right. Where do we start?
Thursday night, the Dolphins go in there to play the Bills. I'm looking at total domination by the Bills.
I'm not.
Woo!
The Bills will play down to the competition. I expect the Dolphins to put up a little fight. The Bills are going to win, but I think the Dolphins will put some fight into this game. I expect it to be a much more competitive game than it should be. But I expect the Bills to play down to the competition. They're going to find a way to keep the Dolphins in there. So, Bills by 10.
I say Bills by 17. Bills by 17.
Okay.
Next game, moving on. Sunday, the Falcons come to Carolina to play my team, the Carolina Panthers. Speaking of the Carolina Panthers, before Steve says all that stuff out the side of his neck, Mr. Derek Ory, to everybody else out there, Blow the Whistle Sports, to any Carolina fan, we have a show that we do during the daytime called Panthers Corner, brought to you by Blow the Whistle Sports. I'm going to interview Derek Ory. He was out there at the Cardinal game. I want to get the feel about how things were on the field. Can't wait to talk to you, sir. And I look forward to talking to you tomorrow before the game. And I just wanted to say that. But Bryce Young is doing what I need him to do. He's looking good. Our offense is looking good. Our defense is what we need to work on. Defensive moves. The draft, we definitely got to get the best linebacker and the best defensive end, a couple of them out of this draft. We need to find us some Luke Kuechly's and some Julius Peppers in this draft, and this team will take a complete 180, and you will see us put the W's on the board. We need to get the ball back into Bryce Young's hands. He's made some mistakes, but it's stuff I can live with. I see the dimes that he's dropping, and I just need good plays to be called. And all you gotta do is give him a bailout play, and Carolina will be just fine.
Sounds beautiful. I love all that great talk. Now let me talk about the legendary wide receiver, Steve Smith. Would you say that he's a legendary Panther receiver?
Most definitely. Dominant.
One of the most respected guys ever to play for the Carolina Panthers.
Most definitely. Steve Smith, I can't wait. I can't wait to get his official autograph on my Funk Mo, my Steve Smith Funk Mo.
Well, Steve Smith, he's been having this hate relationship with Cam Newton in the last year or so. Well, Cam Newton came out and called the Carolina Panthers losers over the weekend. Steve Smith, in response, comes out and says that Carolina fans are weak. I'm going to use his exact quotes. They're fair weather fans and prone to complaining. These are all Steve Smith's words, not mine. And attacked, of course, Cam Newton by calling them losers. What's your response? How do you feel about Steve Smith's comments?
I respect Steve Smith's comments, and I agree with him 1,000%. This is the reason for Panthers Corner to even come into existence. And on the Carolina side, I'm involved in a lot of Carolina fan forums. A lot of the people who run the forums. Our show is on those forums. I talk to these people, and Carolina fans are so up and down right now, and I can understand because we've been getting our butt kicked for some years now, and we're not used to that. We want to feel like winners, and Everybody wants that quick fix. They want that quick fix drug, and it's not a quick fix. We have finally fixed the offense. Now we got to fix the defense and get some better plays. I don't believe our coach should be on the chopping block because he's made strides. What this team need is right now is stability. Stability number one, in knowing that we're going to see our coach. This is our QB. We just need solid plays and we need solid defense. And the offensive line, it has to hold up. All facets of our game have to have some continuity where we're playing together, and we just haven't got there yet. With that being said, Steve Smith, 1,000% right, because the fans need to know what's going on. We had Baker Mayfield, we had Donald, and both of them, to me, were solid. It just, when you come to a losing culture, to a team that has no culture, to a team that has lost its identity, you get this type of play. We have to be together, lose together, win together, pick ourselves up off the ground, get more talent injection into the defense, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine. So, and Cam Newton, I get his analogy. To be totally honest with you, what Cam Newton is saying, a lot of why Steve Smith said what he said about the Panther fans. A lot of them are the same way, but they don't see the error in their ways because they did the same thing when Darnold was on the team. Then when Darnold finally turned the corner and finally was making strides, and then the team needed to put the personnel behind him, we got rid of him. We got Baker Mayfield. You see how outstanding Baker Mayfield is doing? You see how outstanding Baker Mayfield is doing? We had him. He was fine. He came to a horrible situation and was trying to make lemonade. And before he got a chance to make lemonade, the Carolina fans, want. We got rid of him, where we had to use draft picks to get Bryce Young. Not mad about it. It's done now. But those draft picks could have been defensive players. Our defense should look like the Browns defense. You see how stout the Browns defense is with the horrible offense? My goodness, if we had that, we would be a totally different team, but we don't have that. We sold the defense off for magic beans. We sold the offense off for our future with number one draft picks. When we finally got the offensive back to where we need it, we just need a defense now, and we're going to be fine. I agree with Steve Smith 1,000%. That was long-winded because that's from the heart. And I can't wait to do Panthers Corner with Derek Orby. I can't wait for us to get that in there. Can't wait for it. You need to tune in, Steve, because I'm talking to a lot of
people. I do tune in. But I do want to add, though, that was a little long-winded, but you forgot you also had McCaffrey, too, when you had Darnold and you had so don't forget. And you had Jeremy Chin, and you had who was the other defensive player that you guys let go? That you had Chin and you had
I can't think of his name, but they both went to your team, Washington.
Yes, exactly.
But that's the decisions the Carolina Panther organization as a whole has been making, and the person who's been taking the brunt of those bad decisions has been Bryce Young, because this is his career, and it's not this young man's fault. It's this man. We know he drops dimes. You got to put him in the right position, just like you had to put Sam Darnold in the right position. Put the right people around him, and he can make things happen. Same thing with Baker Mayfield. Same thing. It's all about the team just gelling together, and I believe that we're there. We just need 2 defensive players next season, but this season we can make a go at it. We just got to know what we have, and we got to make those adjustments. That's all front office. Nothing to do with on the field, front office. The field, they just need to make things happen. Catch the ball, hold the ball, go down to the ground, get tackled. No turnovers, team. No turnovers. And the real Carolina Panther fans are on your side.
All right, with all that being said, are you taking the Panthers this week to beat the Falcons?
Yes, sir. I'm taking the Panthers. You the one that got me in my feelings with all this, with your smile on your face, you hater.
All right, guys.
Who you taking, Steve?
This is a no-brainer. I'm taking the Falcons. Come on now. Have you watched the games?
I ain't got nothing to say to you.
The Falcons are playing great football right now. Had a dominant performance last week. Panthers are a big work in progress. I mean, major work in progress.
Okay.
So take the Falcons, guys. Don't put the Panthers in your parlay if you want to win. Our next game.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do a parlay for everybody. I'm gonna give them some free wins just because you said that. And I'm not putting Carolina in my parlay, even though I am picking Carolina to win. Steve's taking the Falcons. Next game, Green Bay at the Browns. This is a no-brainer.
This is your no-brainer of the week. Green Bay is playing excellent football. I expect. Now we don't know. Will Flacco start this week? Was Flacco going to play a half? Are they going to go back to Gabriel? A lot of question marks in Cleveland. So go with the Pack.
I'm going with the Pack too, and I'm not going to be long-winded. The Browns need to get it together. I understand you brought Flacco in, but you have two quarterbacks on your bench that could be getting this time to be ready for the next season or even surprise you. I believe Shadur Sanders is a surprise because, believe it or not, the Browns have a decent team. They just need a QB at the helm that is up to speed. Not knocking Joe Flacco, but his athletic ability is limited at his age. If you put these young guys in the game, especially, I'm going to lean on Shadur Sanders, you'll get some wins. If the Browns want to win, put Shadur in. I'm going to say it like that. If you want to win, let Shadur spin. Period.
I'm just going to say from a fantasy perspective, pass the ball to Jerry Jeudy, please. This is just a fantasy in me speaking. Give the ball to Jerry Jeudy, please. I mean, you're killing me fantasy-wise. But
question, Steve. Do you have Jerry Jeudy on some of
that was just fantasy in me. Huh?
Do you have Jerry Jeudy on some of your fantasy football teams?
Oh, my God. I got Jerry Jeudy about 4 or 5 different teams. And they need to pass the ball to him more. That's all.
You're a bad owner. You shouldn't have picked him up because the Browns don't even know what they're doing. They picked up Joe Flacco to be their starter after drafting quarterbacks. They let Joe Flacco
only got one wide receiver. It's real simple. Pass the ball to the only wide receiver you have. That's all. All right. So next game. I had to get it out of my chest. It was one of those.
Texans going to Florida to play the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Texans and the Jags, 2 surprise teams.
0-2 Texans played a 1-1 Jags.
We thought the Texans would be better, and we thought the Jags would be worse. So that being said, this looks like it's going to be a Texans week. Okay. I think Jacksonville comes home. They play more like the team we expect them to be. I think the Texans will play more like the team we expect them to be. Take the Texans.
This is week 3. Things are starting to level out. The Jacksonville Jaguars will be the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm taking the Texans also. The Texans should start to make their run now. They got off to a bad start, but it'll level out. They'll be fine. Next game, Bengals to go in there to play the Vikings, the 2-0 Bengals. And they lose their guy him.
They both lost their quarterbacks. The Bengals lost
Joe
Burrow, but the Vikings also lost J.J. McCarthy.
I wasn't too high on him, but he looked like he might turn into something.
So how do you pick this game? And speaking of this, all the people who dropped T. Higgins, what are you guys thinking?
They're thinking that Joe is done for the season. I would have traded T. Higgins though at least and got something for him.
You cut T. Higgins. They're gonna still pass the ball. T. Higgins is better than anybody you pick up off the waiver wire. This is what I mean about making these passionate decisions in the waiver wire without thinking it out.
I am so happy that I didn't pick up Joe Burrow in fantasy.
Yeah, I am too.
Or Chase Brown.
Yeah.
Or Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, excuse me.
I got Chase in one
happy.
league. Yeah, I got him in one league. But yeah.
Because he went high. He went like first or second pick.
Oh, yeah. He was first, second pick for sure.
Who's your pick out of the coin flip game?
Coin flip game, I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to take the Vikings.
I'm taking the Bengals. I'm taking Browning to do his thing. Moving on to the Steelers, go to play the Patriots. I'm going to take the Steelers. I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers does his thing and breezes past the Patriots.
I'm going to get the opposite. I think Aaron Rodgers already had his one game this year. He feels like he earned his paycheck, so I expect him to the rest of the season coast through and be mediocre. So I'm going with the Patriots. Team on the rise.
Right. Next, my upset special. Rams go in there to Philly to play the Eagles. Both 2-0. I'm going to go with the Eagles. No.
What?
No, I'm going to go with the Rams. Upset special, Rams.
See, I'm gonna go with the safe pick. I'm taking the Eagles at home.
Hey, you be safe. I'm taking the Rams. Next game, Jets 0-2 go play the 2-0 Buccaneers. I'm taking the Buccaneers.
Yeah. It looks like they just announced that Justin Fields is going to be out. I think this is going to be a no-brainer. Take the Bucs at home.
Who's the backup for Justin Fields?
Justin Fields was playing good football prior to the injury, so let's give him a little bit of love. He looked good in that first game against the Steelers.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna be down on him, but him being out, I'm going to take the Bucs.
And then our surprise people that's up in there, the Colts, 2-0 Colts going to play the 0-2 Titans. What you say, Steve? Who you pick?
Oh, this is Colts all the way. I think the Titans will be good in time. I think right now, rookie quarterback, he doesn't have anybody of a veteran to support him. I think they're gonna have a hard year this year. It's gonna be tough to win games.
And now a team that's close to your heart. The Raiders go to Washington to play the Commanders.
Now, let's make this clear. I'm going to make this as clear. And those who know me know my love-hate relationship with the Commanders and know the history, how I had to boycott several years. We had that Commanders hat underneath the desk, refusing to wear it until the owner was taken out. There's no way in holy you-know-what that Jaden Daniels would take the field this week.
You don't think he's going to play?
If I was the decision maker, there's no way he's taking the field. And for Redskin Commander fans, all you got to say are the letters and number RG3. Everybody who remembers RG3's rookie year remembers how amazing he looked, amazing how he got that knee injury, and then rather than Shanahan sitting him down and looking out for the organization over his own hide, he let RG3 talk him back into going out there injured, and the rest speaks for itself. Major knee injury, never the same quarterback, career halted early. What could have been?
Sounds like you don't want to make your pick, Steve.
No. I'm just putting it out there that if they put Jaden Daniels out there and he hurts himself worse and he does something to damage his career, I'm done with the Commanders. You heard it here first. If they ruin this man's career, if Jaden Daniels gets out there and gets a major knee injury, I'm going to switch over to the Ravens and become
He only has a sprain, Steve.
I don't care. I don't care what kind of sprain it is. He's a young quarterback who likes to run, and he got a sprained knee. Keep him off the field. So I'm taking the Raiders because I expect Mariota to play, and I need for the sake of the organization, Jane Daniels will sit?
I would take the Commanders if Jaden Daniels is playing. If he's not playing, I'm taking the Raiders. But as you say, he's not playing. I'm going to take the Raiders because you said that Jaden Daniels is not playing. Next, we go to the Broncos Chargers. And right off the top, right off the back, I'm taking the Chargers.
Ooh, Broncos at the Chargers. Close game. I think it's going to be a very competitive game. Fantasy-wise, I want the Broncos to win because they got Nix as my quarterback in one league. But I'm gonna take the Chargers in a close one. I think it's gonna be less than 3 point.
Okay, then now the Saints run out there to Seattle to play the Seahawks. 0-2 Saints play the 1-1 Seahawks. Off the back, I'm taking the Seahawks. I'm taking the home team. Taking the home team.
Yeah, I just think the Saints are god awful. And so I'm taking the Seahawks.
Now, another pick that I will be making that I'm putting on the card, and I don't never trust them, but I'm going to go ahead and take the 1-1 Cowboys to play the 0-2 Bears.
This is a game that I will not be watching. But if I had to predict, I think the Cowboys are just mediocre enough. They're going to find a way to win this game just so they can just be mediocre enough to be a middle round pick. So I expect the Cowboys to win. I think the Bears are in trouble. I don't know what they're.
Okay.
All right.
So now we go to the 1 o'clock game or the 1:30 game. Cardinals go into Frisco to play the 49ers. They're both 2-0, but I believe the 49ers will be without Brock Purdy. I don't know. They said it's day to day, so not sure about that one. Not sure about that one at all. I would take the 49ers off the back, but without Brock Purdy, I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals have turned that corner. I think finally they're starting to find who they are. They have an identity. They got a little bit of talent now, and they're young and hungry. So I got the Cardinals, whether Purdy plays or not.
Now, the Sunday night game, the next game that I would be putting on my pick 3 will be the Kansas City Chiefs against the 0-2 Giants. Taking those, putting the Kansas City Chiefs on my football card to complete my pick 3, which means I will be putting the Colts, the Chiefs, and the Cowboys on this card. Colts, Chiefs, Cowboys.
Ooh, I like the Colts. I like the Chiefs. I don't trust the Cowboys enough. I just don't. I just can't trust the Cowboys to put it on your 3 card. I think there's better picks, but so we both got the Chiefs. Don't we got a Monday night game?
Oh yeah, Monday night. Speaking of Monday night, I love the way they did that last Monday night. If they can do both of them where I can see both games like they did, I can go for Monday night doubleheader. That was awesome. Yeah, put that together like that again. I can do that.
Yeah,
both games I got to watch. I got to cherish both games. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, even if the NFL wanted to do it, where like one of the games would be on like Amazon or one of those other.
No,
doubleheader works for me.
The doubleheader where one game over, then the next game start. Perfect.
Yeah.
Lions, Ravens, Monday night.
This is a great game. This is especially given the situation. Lions came off a huge win over the Bears. Ravens are still trying to find their identity, but are one of the top 3 teams in the league. Games in Baltimore.
Yes, sir.
So that means it's going to be off the surface. I'm going to take the Ravens outside. If it was in the dome, I would have the Lions. But because it is an outside game at night, I'm taking the Ravens.
I'm taking the Ravens. They did not play good, but they won. But I'm taking the Ravens because I'm looking for Henry to come out and dominate in this game. I'm looking for him to do his thing in this game. So we're unanimous taking the Ravens.
All right,
Steve.
before you go, Lamont has redeemed himself a little bit. Read what he put in the comment.
That's true, Lamont. That's true.
He
So
said,
I'll take the Cowboys off and put the Packers.
Take the Cowboys off your 3-team and put the Packers on. So there's a little bit of a redemption. We're gonna make it for that Brian Dawkins comment.
Packers.
Don't get me wrong. Brian Dawkins is a Hall of Famer. Don't get me wrong. But we're not gonna put him in the same breath as Reggie White.
Packers, Colts, and
Packers, Colts,
Chiefs.
and Chiefs. Yeah, that's
Packers, Colts, Chiefs. That's the pick 3 for you guys. Make you some money. After you make you some money, we're gonna put the Blow the Whistle Venmo or Cash App up so you can slide us a cut. But thank you, Steve. I can't wait to tune in next week. We're
gonna start off with our almanac's gonna come out, and we're gonna once again
that boxing.
Mr. Packard wrong with the boxing, so I can get that quick 20.
I'm pretty sure I'm right. Pretty sure I'm right. Yeah, I'm right.
That was back in the days when I actually watched boxing. That was my boxing era, but I actually cared about the boxing matches. So
and how are you so wrong about this? How you so wrong at this? If that was back then, you shouldn't be that wrong.
Okay, you gonna see. You gonna see.
Hey, please subscribe, and share. Tell a friend and tell another friend and tell that friend to tune in and to press the subscribe button on our Facebook and our YouTube and our Instagram. With your support, we can be even greater than what we are. Thank you, and we will see y'all next week. Hey, Steve.
We love all you guys.
Thank you that you was wrong.
Okay, we're gonna see next week. But thank you guys. Enjoy the football games. Enjoy the playoffs for the WNBA. We got the baseball coming up soon, and I think in a week or two, NBA training camps open.
Next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Blow the Whistle Sports. We will see y'all then.
Peace out.